What's up, everyone? Brandon here with IGN. I'm super excited to be joined by Richard Fogey, design director on State of Decay 2.
Right on. Nice to meet you. Good job with my name.
Thanks. All right, we nailed it. So we're going to be looking at characters right now. So State of Decay 2 has always had some really interesting characters that you get as survivors to bring into your shelter. This time around, this game is ramping that up. So can you describe a little bit about what is happening in this game?
Yeah, so we procedurally compose each of our survivors from a huge list of different traits, names, appearance, all these different things kind of go into making a survivor a complete person. So we start off with...
this is Xena.
This is Xena. Xena Tinky.
Xena Tinky.
And she's been in this community a while, to the point where she's built up to become a hero. Every survivor that joins your community goes from recruit to citizen to hero. Once they become a hero, they provide a special bonus. You can see here with Xena, she's providing the ammo wish list hero bonus, which gives a community +1 ammo per day.
Awesome.
There's also a hint there, like her leadership style. If we were to make Xena a leader of the community, she would be a warlord, and that leads to some late game interesting stuff that's going to go on.
Interesting. Okay. So you can actually promote them.
Yeah, and I'll show you that in just a second, but yeah, you can promote one of the survivors in your community up to be the leader, and that sort of defines the character of your community as a whole. Xena, every survivor is composed of traits that give them a bit of sometimes personal history, pre-apocalyptic history, sometimes how they survived in the apocalypse before they came to this community, and sometimes just details about themselves. Pre-apocalyptic, Xena was an auto detailer. That gives her a morale bonus from the auto shop. Also, the mechanic skill that you see down a little bit lower on the list,
right,
that is derived from the fact that she spent time pre-apocalypse as an auto detailer. She was a rifle collector, so that gives her bonuses from the armory. It also gives her bonuses to how where her shooting started. She has a really high, she has specialized into sharpshooting from her normal shooting.
No. Help's on the way.
Don't get any better than that.
She accumulates experience shooting faster because of that rifle collector background. And this high pain threshold, which gives her increased fighting experience and additional health.
First of all, I love the fact that you contextualize the stuff that affects skills and affects the gameplay with like who they are in the past and what they do. But for example, let's take that sharpshooting. Now, anybody can shoot, but she has a sharpshooting skill. Is that an evolved version of the regular shooting skill?
Exactly, that's a specialization, and we can look. I have a couple other survivors who are ready to specialize right now, and show you what that process looks like. See what some of the options they get are. The options are different based on history and what the survivors
what traits they have.
Yeah, exactly right.
I see she also specializes in cardio, which I assume lets her run faster or more stamina.
So she's building this up, and then once we max out the stars that she has here, she'll be able to choose a specialization in this.
Okay.
So I'll jump over to Allison here. Allison actually is ready to specialize in fighting.
She also looks like she's in a bad way right now.
She's in a bit of a bad way.
Oh no.
Allison was in a fight earlier with probably a juggernaut. She has a concussion from being slammed on the head, sprained ankle. She might have fallen off or something. Those are all things that I can take care of if I have a first aid kits or go to the infirmary and take care of that.
Got it.
But you can see also down in the morale, some of the other traits that Allison has affects how she feels about different aspects of what's going on in the world.
I see.
She's pretty upset that there's so many infestation. She's really upset that there's no food and that there's low meds.
Loves that watchtower though.
She does love the watchtower.
Yeah,
she wants to feel secure. She wants to feel safe. She is a hero in the community, so she has a bonus that she's providing, some morale. And then
wait, go back 1 second.
Okay.
She's a target of sympathy. People look at my situation and it makes them feel better about their own.
Well, you're looking at her background. She has her cell phone that she kept. She's sad all the time. So maybe that makes me
a target of
guilt.
guilt.
Know what? At least I don't. Yeah. At least I don't feel so bad as Allison.
Well,
at least
it's helping other people, right?
Yeah. And she could also be providing morale because she was a janitor, so maybe she's keeping things clean up around the base.
That's what's so awesome about this is not only is she down there, you can see she's great at weapon handling. She's got that marathon skill, which means she runs fast or runs longer. But she can also, every character can also contribute to the to the community at large. So let's say you're a terrible fighter, a terrible weaponsmith, but you have a great sense of humor, so everyone around you just likes having you around.
Exactly right. So your traits can give you good qualities that are useful to have around the base. Your hero bonus can lead to that. This 5th skill slot that we have here is usually around base building and oriented around that. So Allison has a utilities background that's going to allow her to help out with things that do involve like power or water, things like that are required for certain facilities to function correctly or for certain actions to be used in those facilities.
Right.
So I talked about the specialization. Because Allison has maxed out the stars here in fighting, she's ready to specialize into that. And so we have 2 options. Some characters can have up to 4 options, again, based on their traits, based on their background. If we had somebody who had a background that was like an action movie choreographer or something like that, for instance, they might probably have all 4 options available to them. But for now, we can choose to improve her close combat, which means that using no weapons except for that close combat weapon, screwdriver,
the knife, the one that comes with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's going to be much better at using that. Or we can do endurance. Endurance is going to give her more health. She's not going to take as much damage or these injuries, which she's obviously prone to, and give her a special attack.
So what do you recommend here? What are we going to go with?
Just because of again, the amount of trauma she's already accumulated, I'm going to specialize into endurance. And you can see that now that we've unlocked that, in addition to the additional max health, the injury severity reduction, that now she has a move on LB and X that gives her the slam attack. We were looking at some stuff earlier.
Yeah, she picks him up and like flips him over the head.
Slams him down on the ground, sets him up for a kill. It's fantastic. It's a great move.
Cool.
And so I'll just ignore that gravestone in the background. It's not important at all for what we're talking about.
God, I don't want to know what happened.
This has Ben's in a great mood right now. He's cheerful. He's got a lot of good morale coming in. He likes a garden, decent tools and things like that.
He's got some decent tools, all right.
Yeah, good hero bonus. His hero bonus increases the action speed around the base. So again, an individual survivor might not necessarily be the best person out in the field, but they might be contributing to the community in other ways.
And vice versa, right? You got a bona fide ninja, but he's just kind of an a-hole back at the community and nobody likes having him around, so that's a trade-off you have to make.
Right, and you do have to make hard choices sometimes about like, our morale is incredibly low. Why is it so bad? This guy that's a great fighter also is a huge jerk. Maybe we should kick him out. It's things that you have to think about in the context
no
of
easy
the
decisions.
No easy decisions. So again, morale bonuses from the workshop. And again, like there are so many things that can affect the way you consider a survivor's role in your community. He has a crazy metabolism. That's great. It gives him all this additional stamina, but he eats more food every day. And that can lead to some problems later on as well.
Right on.
Okay, so Dion's our doctor, also a pretty good fighter, citizen in the community. Once we fill up that meter and he reaches hero status, we're going to get additional med storage.
And that meter is filled up by completing tasks and going out foraging, scavenging, stuff like that.
Exactly, going out into the world and accomplishing specific goals. Also by doing some of the stuff back at the base, but mostly it's about going back out into the world. And he's an optimist, and that's great most of the time, but sometimes he pisses people off.
Annoys irritable community members. That guy that's just like, hey, everything's great, everything's
bright,
fine.
sunshiny. Yeah. Sometimes it gets
Tone
on
it
your
down,
nerves.
Dion. Tone it down.
Eamon here, he's not doing so great. He's got blood plague, and he's not checked into an infirmary, so he's got 102 minutes until ghastly death.
Well,
and, you know, that's not too great. Something that we might need to take care of at some point in the future. But he's a great party planner. And that's great for morale.
You know what? Even in the apocalypse, you need a party.
Right. He was a cake decorator and an environmentalist. He's very happy that the carbon footprint has been reduced
now,
after the apocalypse.
Well, I speaking of carbon footprints, I imagine he's going to be capped on his cardio skill down there because he has asthma?
That's exactly right. So in addition to having traits and background that can increase the speed at which you will level up in a skill or where you start in a skill, you can have traits that will reduce your possibility space in that skill. So his cardio is always going to be capped at 4, which means that he's never going to get to the full 7 that he needs to specialize.
Okay.
So that's what he's going to be. Fortunately, he actually has turned out to be pretty useful in the community, good gunslinging skills. The endurance is going to reduce the amount of damage he's taken, so he's still okay in a fight, but he's going to get winded really fast. So you definitely don't want to be caught out in the world without a vehicle, as I'm in here. And then
Lastly, we have Lex.
Alexis Blackwell. She's a little sad right now.
Yeah.
Damage, and again, just the various things contributing to her morale. She's got blood plague as well, so that's
I'm
depressing.
sensing a pattern right now, sure.
She's getting close to being a hero as well, but she's got shooting. I'm going to specialize her shooting. I was going to specialize her shooting. I made a friend.
Yeah, we had somebody sneak in here.
I'm going to jump back down here. I'm going to specialize into gunslinging because that's a fun.
Improve by shooting enemies. Okay.
Improve by shooting enemies. And you can see there that snap to targets while aiming. That's something that's going to consume stamina because it's very powerful. So yeah, that's kind of an overview of how skills work and the skills and traits and people's hero bonuses and their leader type all kind of tie together.
Now, all of these characters are, I mean, potentially this is a character that I could find, or whoever's listening to this could find when they boot up State of Decay 2. These are all procedurally generated characters, and you don't know what you're going to get, what hand you're going to be dealt.
Just like real life, you never know what somebody's going to turn out to be and
Right.
how they're going to, what they're going to contribute to your group overall. So everybody's community composition, everybody that plays State of Decay is going to have a completely different community. The little details it composes, there might be some similarities. You
Sure.
might have a good shooter, I might have a good shooter, but they're going to be totally different. The other traits that contribute to who they are as a whole are going to be totally different.
All those little pieces that come together to make a person.
All the details.
Well, I think we should get wrapping up, but let's elect one of our heroes here as a leader. Who do you think it should be?
The warlords are pretty tough. They give you really great. They give you access to this really great facility that lets you make any kind of ammo. That's fantastic. Builders are more focused on kind of creation, building the world back up. They tend to be my favorite. Traders are great. They get you some folks that you can trade with. But I'm going to go ahead and go with Allison here as the builder. Promote her to leader.
We did it. We have a leader now.
We have a leader now.
All right.
She's ready to go. And so now we have access to different functionality in the base that we didn't have before, and that's going to start us on our path towards the end game.
Right on. Well, hey, that's a quick look at the character system in State of Decay 2. Richard, thank you so much for joining me and walking me through it.
My pleasure.
All right. Well, we are looking at State of Decay 2 all month long. It's part of IGN First, so for much more, stick around.